In this video, I'm gonna pull back the curtain and show you how I got started in my consultancy business. But I wanna be clear that later on this course, I'm gonna be showing you my proven system for really creating a lead getting, sales generating machine that has people coming to you when they're ready, willing and able to buy. For now, if you need to get started with no money, this is my proven cold calling script for you when you are in the trenches and you need to do hand-to-hand combat. So let me dive in this and show you how I got my start, how I was making 100 cold calls a day and the exact script that I was using to build my business up to $1 million in revenue purely through cold calling. Now, the beauty of cold calling is that you don't need to have any resources to do it other than a couple of dollars to throw up into a VoIP account. It is an incredible opportunity that removes any kind of excuses of you going out and really building your business. First of all, I do want to state that obviously cold calling and being in the trenches is doing the hard yards. This is not an easy task. However, if you want to be successful, you have to pay the price. Things that I really want to cover with you is really your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. And really knowing that you need to kind of breathe this attitude of success and be really laser focused and be really hungry in order to get the most of the script and in order to make it work for you. So some of the points I want to cover with you is really you need to create this belief that you can sell to anybody. So any call that you jump on, anybody can be sold. Either they're selling you all the excuses why they don't have the time to speak to you right now, or they don't have the money, or you're selling them on the reasons why this is gonna be really beneficial for them. You also need to really have a fundamental belief that the product or service that you're selling is worth 10 times what you're charging. You need to get sold every day on really this problem that you're solving for your clients, and knowing and fully believing that you are the best person to go out there and solve this problem for them and for your marketplace. You basically have to be willing to follow up forever. The fortune is in the follow-up in sales. I've seen a lot of stuff out there where people were saying that you can close people on one call and all this kind of stuff. The majority of the sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So really, you need to have that in your mindset and know from the outset that this is going to require a follow-up process. My rule of thumb is that you want to follow up forever until either they say yes or no, right? Once they've kind of say a hard no to you, then you can move on. But up until that case, we will not be tolerating any maybes or anything like this. This is not a decision they can just put on their shelf and come back to when they're ready. We need a decision and we will follow up until we get that decision. The other thing is you need to know this pitch cold, right? This is your samurai sword. This is the thing that you really need to perfect, and you need to master it. And you need to rehearse it until you've really got this thing down cold. You need to recite it in the car, in the shower, wherever it might be. This is literally the key to kind of break you out of where you are, take you where you want to be, and really need to get all in, and you need to get sold on this. And you need to practice it, of course. Now, other thing that I want you to know is that on the call, he who is in control is the one that wins. So you must take control of these calls. So even by force, meaning that you always need to be leading that call, right? You're the person that is in charge. You are the authority. You are the expert. And you are the proven master. And you need to basically take that prospect by the hand and show them that you are in control. The other thing that you must treat everybody respectfully, right? So it's a very fine balance of having that respect, but also being the authority as well. You need to treat people with respect. If you want to be respected, then you need to respect people. However, there's some clear do's and don't do's that you don't want to do on the call. You do not want to thank people for their time. I'm going to repeat that. You do not want to thank people for their time. You are the authority. It's almost lucky that they're speaking to you on this phone call or on this subject, and that you've called them with this opportunity. The other thing is that you never ever want to depend just on one call or one deal. I see this all the time in sales. Someone will get off the call, they feel really good about themselves, and before the sale's even made, they're kind of patting themselves on the back, and they're kind of feeling like they're almost being rewarded because they've had a really good sales call. Then they might kind of anticipate them closing that deal later on the week, and when that falls through, it just kind of breaks their whole demeanors and breaks their attitude and breaks any momentum that they've actually had, just because in their mind they've kind of said, okay, this person's gonna buy, and then when that deal falls through, they're losing that momentum. You want to have your pipeline so full that just one deal isn't gonna take any stream or any win from your sales. You can keep that momentum going because you can rest at night knowing fully well that you have a solid pipeline of deals that you're gonna close. The other thing is that you must get frequent on this sales tip before you will ever get great. You're gonna suck really badly. That is just the reality of things in the beginning. So really, you need to do hundreds of these cold calls until you get to a stage where it's really sounding natural. It's really sounding like this is just coming from you, and you will start gaining momentum. So don't give yourself a hard time when you get off that first phone call. Oh my God, that was like a train wreck. It is to be expected, and just expect that, because you need to really manage your expectations as you go through the process. And you know that you will be getting overtime. And this is just a process that everybody must go through. Everybody sucks in the beginning. As I told you, when I got my first sales job, very difficult. However, it was that repetition and that repetition that really made me a master in this field. Now, the other thing that I want to say is that you must pay the price for success. I'm telling you right now that this process will not be easy. However, it will be highly rewarding. It's that old adage, it's like you must pay the price to be successful. If you think that you can go out there and people are just gonna be throwing money at you on these cold calls, then you've got another thing coming for you. So really, what I want you to do is to really take the mindset that this is gonna be a stretch. This is going to stretch you as a person, but it's also going to be an incredible growing exercise for you, and you're really going to learn a lot from this process. However, you need to understand and you need to go in there with the mindset. The thing that I keep coming back to is that successful people do all the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. I'm gonna repeat that. Successful people are doing things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. So there's consultants out there, it's like, oh, I tried consulting and I couldn't, build my business. It's simply because They weren't willing to do all the things that successful people do. I've built a successful consulting business, and this is how I've done it. And I am literally handing this to you, which is a proven process of how I literally was in the trenches and how I got my start. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the script and I'll pull back the curtain and show you everything that I know.